Hello friends, welcome back. This is the beginning of 2021 and Xiaomi has launched its flagship device, the Mi 11. While watching the device at the launch, it was like a love at first sight. I really love the design language of this phone compared to the Galaxy S21 series, and now I am lucky enough to have this in my hand even before the Indian launch. In this video, I'll be sharing some initial impressions of this phone. So I got the white color variant in an 8GB 256GB configuration. This phone has a glass sandwich design with a metallic mid-frame in between. The backside white color, which is a Corning Gorilla Glass 5, has a frosted appearance and has a matte finish to it. There are 4 colors available and especially I like the blue and the white colors. There are also 2 vegan leather variants in the high end. Coming to the build quality of this phone feels extremely solid. Even though the phone weight is 196 grams and 8.5mm in thickness, in-hand feel of the Mi 11 is excellent. The phone feels more slim than it is because of the curvatures on the body, which is on front as well as back. This phone is being marketed by Xiaomi as the movie magic experience, which is easily understood once you switch on the screen of the phone. The phone has a gorgeous 6.81-inch AMOLED display with 120Hz refresh rate and 480Hz touch sampling rate. A screen to be called as HDR10 compliant should have a peak brightness of around 1000 nits, whereas this phone has a peak brightness of 1500 nits. So it has excellent outdoor visibility as well as while watching HDR10 videos, this high brightness lends a lot of contrast to the videos. Frankly speaking, the screen appears to be one of the best screens that I've ever seen, and even compared to the excellent Samsung screens that are available in the market right now. The top left corner has a small hole punch for the 20 megapixel front selfie camera, and this is one of the smallest holes I have seen on screens these days. The all 4 corners of this screen has slightly exaggerated curvatures, though in day-to-day life this doesn't affect me much. The right side of the metallic frame consists of the volume and power button, and all the switches are of extremely good quality and have a very good tactile feedback. The positioning also for my hand is excellent. On the connectivity side, the phone has a USB 3.2 Type-C charging point at the bottom, which is flanked by the speakers which are tuned by Harman Kardon. The rest of the connectivity features include Bluetooth 5.1, NFC, Wi-Fi 6 if your router supports it. It has 5G bands as well as a rear IR blaster. Now talking about the speaker is tuned by Harman Kardon. The main speaker quality at the bottom is much better quality than the secondary speaker at the top. Overall, this combo of great screen and superb speakers and audio make it really an extremely enjoyable content consumption device. Hence the marketing as movie magic. And this phone also allows simultaneous audio sharing with 2 Bluetooth devices just like the Samsung flagship devices. Now let's talk about a little the battery and the charger. The battery is 4600 mAh. It supports 55 watt wired fast charging and 50 watt of wireless fast charging. It also supports reverse wireless charging of 10 watts. Hence it covers all the points needed for a flagship device with respect to the battery size and charging capacities. Now I have to speak a little about this gallium nitride charger that comes as an optional free accessory in the Chinese market. This is a 55 watt PD charger which is extremely small in size compared to the bulky chargers. So if you have a laptop which supports USB-C charging, this comes in very handy, so you need not carry 2 chargers for these devices. The 55 watt charger supports Mi Turbo charging and fully charges the phone in approximately 50 minutes. Now the camera setup. The primary camera consists of 108 megapixel OmniVision sensor, which is the first generation. The sensor is large 1 by 1.33 inch sensor. My primary impressions of this sensor is that it performed admirably well, but it is a large sensor with a shallow depth of field, so it does have some issues in focusing, especially in low light. And unless you tap to focus on the screen, there are chances that it may miss the focus. But overall, when the photos are in focus, the pictures come out tack sharp with excellent colors and dynamic range. Out of the box, the sensor captures 27 megapixel photos, but it can also capture high resolution pictures in 108 megapixel natively. And the gallery application does support full resolution viewing with a double tap of these 108 megapixel pictures. The second camera is a 13 megapixel ultra wide camera, and the third camera is a 5 megapixel macro sensor. The ultra wide camera is good, but nowhere close to the best that are available from the other companies. The 5 megapixel macro sensor is also okayish, but since it lacks optical image stabilization, it is difficult to get sharp images handheld. The resolution is also nothing to brag about. In video performance, it is very good. It can shoot up to 8K resolution and produces very stable footage up to 4K 30 FPS. But in extreme low light conditions, there is this regular jelly effect. On the software front, Xiaomi has provided a lot of new features available on this Mi 11, like the movie effects, the parallel world, the clone mode, etc. etc. Now lastly, talking about the software and performance of this phone came with MIUI 12 installed, and immediately on starting the phone, I got an update which increased the software to 12.0.22. Now MIUI is a very colorful skin. These are some of the best wallpapers pre-installed with a lot of things that can be downloaded from online. There are a lot of themes also available. It provides extremely high levels of customization and the fluidity remains intact. There is no lag anywhere and all the gestures work in a lightning speed. Now let's talk about the performance. The phone is having a fast UFS 3.1 storage and DDR5 RAM. Hence there are no stutters to be found anywhere in the UI. But I realized the Snapdragon 888 chipset is not a very cool chipset and not well optimized in this phone. It heats up quite a lot in the camera region, even when the phone is performing heavy downloads from Wi-Fi or while setting up the phone for the first time. I think future updates will make this phone perform slightly better without much heating. I'm also not very impressed with the battery life of the phone. It may be because I'm coming from the Galaxy M51 with 7000 mAh of battery. Though this phone battery lasts from 9 to 5 pm with around 20% left with a screen time of around 5 to 6 hours. But I consider my usage quite light. So if you are into gaming and streaming a lot of videos online, then the battery life will be further lower. So overall, compared to the Galaxy S21, this phone is much more premium looking and has a better build quality. It also has a better screen than the S21 and an excellent choice as a content consumption device. The only demerit being the subpar battery and slight heating issues, as it is a new phone and needs few updates. But overall, I love the experience this phone provides. So thank you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye.